All right, my friends, thank you for joining me. Today I'm going to talk about when getting in a jam could be good for you and for others. Let me ask you a question. It's kind of a rhetorical question, which means it doesn't necessarily require an answer, but you may do so in the comments, and I would be pleased to read them. Have you ever been in a restaurant you were looking forward to going to and trying out their fine food, and you go sit down at the table and the table is sticky and you're not pleased with that, and then you realize when you try to move about in your seat, your seat is sticky too, and you think to yourself, this is not acceptable, right? It leaves a bad impression, and you say, you know what, I'm never coming to this place again. Your wife's like, come on, don't be ridiculous. Like, no, listen, it's soured the whole thing for me. I really don't want to come back again if they can't take care of things better than this. That's what it's like when you encounter stickiness at a restaurant, okay? Let me give you another illustration. There was a pastor I once heard tell a story about how when he was a child, he used to love his mama's biscuits. She would make these biscuits and she'd make them a good batch of them. And so all of them wouldn't get eaten at once. She'd save some back. And she'd tell him, you can't have any biscuits unless you ask permission. He understood that. And he loved to eat his biscuits with grape jelly on them. I do too. And he said he would slather so much grape jelly on his biscuits that when he would eat them, the jelly would drip out of the biscuit and get all over him, all over his clothes. And so invariably, anything he would touch, because it was all over his fingers, all over his clothes, he would get grape jelly on everything he encountered. In fact, his mother always knew when he had gotten into the biscuits when he wasn't supposed to, because his jelly prints were there and everything was sticky. Now, the reason why he used this little story was because in the church he was trying to make the point that we should have Jesus all over us so that anybody that encounters us gets a little bit of him on them. Now, that's a good kind of sticky. But you remember at the beginning of this video, I gave you kind of a negative example of stickiness, didn't I? What I want to say here is that stickiness is really just an impression that you leave behind on somebody, on something. And people can oftentimes tell where you've been based on what they can perceive. When you encounter people, what do you leave behind with them? Do you have a negative spirit? Are you critical? Are you somebody who complains a lot about your circumstances? Are you one of these people who reminds everybody else of Eeyore? I've known people like that, and I've been that person at different times. I think we all have. But that leaves a negative impression. You might say, well, I've had reasons to be like that. I had no idea it impacted other people that way. Oh, it does. How you behave, how you talk, and your demeanor and everything about you leaves a little bit of you on other people whenever you encounter them. And they walk away with a little bit of you on them. Or this could go the other way. Are you someone who is complimentary, who is positive, has good things to say about what's going on in your life and in the world, who is thankful, who is encouraging? That likewise has a sticky effect. And when you encounter others, you're going to get a little bit of that on them, and it's going to make their life, it's going to make their day a little bit better. And you know what? You know what that's going to do? What that's going to do for them is whenever they get around other people outside of your presence, they're always going to know when they've been near you or have encountered you. And they can go, I can tell you've been around John. I can tell you've been around Mark, or whatever your name is. I can tell because your spirit is lifted up. Or they might say, yeah, I can tell that you've been around so-and-so. You seem a little down. Is there something wrong? Can I help? This is something we need to think about. What are you wearing on you? Remember, you can leave an impression with others and make a huge difference. So let me give you one more illustration, and this is one that has impacted my life greatly, unbeknownst probably to my father. My father was a pastor, and one of the routine things that he would do would be to visit people in the hospital who were sick. You know, they were ill. They were in there for whatever reason, injured, or perhaps even dying. He would do this a lot. He'd go to nursing homes and things like this. And people in those states are usually not their best selves. In other cases, their best selves really come out. And here's what I mean by that. My father would always go to these hospitals, these nursing homes, to visit these people with the intention of cheering them up. And in some cases, he would walk away having been cheered up by them because of their character, because of their impression. And these people had true influence. They certainly did over me when he told this story. He actually told it many times on many different occasions about different people. It wasn't just one experience. And then there are people who you could never cheer up. And when you walk away, you feel a little bit lower yourself. What kind of person are you? You have a stickiness to you. You may not have known that. I know I talked about being in a jam, and I'm talking about jelly. I know there's a difference between jelly and jam, but I think you get the point here, right? I didn't want to say it's good to get in a jelly, right? So you understand what I'm saying here, I hope. I think you're intelligent enough to get it. But I hope this video has been an encouragement to you and left something behind upon your person. Now, what I challenge you to do is become a bigger person today. Despite the pain and the suffering and the conditions in which you find yourself, find a way to cheer up others, to leave a positive impression on other people. You say, well, it should work the other way around. People should be there for me. People should be trying to come to my side and try to cheer me up. Have you ever thought that maybe the answer to your solution was to think about it the other way, to turn things completely on their head? It might be the answer you've been seeking for. It might be the way out of your condition. Okay. Guys, I hope that's made sense. I hope that's meant something to you. Like I said, it's one thing to be in this condition. It's another thing to rise above it. It's okay. It's okay to get slathered in jelly or jam, as long as it's grape. I love grape. But if you're going to do that, leave an impression behind wherever you go. You do, one way or the other, positive or negative. All right, guys, leave your comments down below. Like this video. Subscribe if you haven't done so already. Hit the notification bell, and if you want a tangible way to say thanks, you can hit the thanks button down below likewise. It's all in that same lineup. Or you can donate to my link I have down below. It's a PayPal link, but you don't have to. You absolutely do not have to. I'll be thankful just for the fact that you viewed and liked the video. Share this with others if you would. All right, guys, if you want to know what I have in my beard today, I am wearing Viking Storm Beard Oil and Beard Balm by the Beard Struggle. I think I can save you 20%. It might be 15. I think it's 20% I can save you. I have a link down below. I do enjoy their products quite a bit, and I think you should check them out. And yeah, I'll have a link for them and for others down below. If you like this hat, this is my Docker's hat from No Cap Store. I'll leave a link for them likewise. And I do once again thank you for joining me. I hope you have a great day. I will catch you on the next one. In the meantime, be wise.